Cosine Collective, a project of the California Community of Arts. Please welcome them to the stage.
Good afternoon. My name is Rob Smuts. I'm the Deputy Director for the Department of Emergency Management, overseeing the 911 system. This is Kelsey Bird, our partner with the Cosine Collective. So in San Francisco, we field about 1.3 million calls per year at our 911 center, police, fire, and medical. 911 was really designed to get you emergency help as quickly as possible. And for medical calls, the prime example of that is like a heart attack. And so the entire system is designed to save that person's life. We're not terribly agile though, and we tend to address issues sort of with a one-size-fits-all solution, which is, send that $900 ambulance ride to pick you up and take you to that hospital where that ambulance ride will look cheap, and if we need to expand the capacity of the ERs, that's measured in hundreds of millions of dollars. And so we are looking at this as a cost issue. Sometimes people call 911 for things that are not best served by that, but also from effectiveness issue. I'm diabetic, and I know that there are some things that might be best served in the ER, but a lot of things, chronic issues, best served with a PCP or some other health intervention. I will not get the best service in the ER for addressing that solution. And so we wanted to really look at some other models out there. There are starting to be some other models that fit in with the 911 system to deliver both more cost-effective and more effective service to people.
Okay, so that's working? Yeah, okay. So basically, as Rob was saying, 911's very effective at responding to heart attacks, but not every call is a heart attack. And so we wanted to show you guys a case of what we're talking about. So let's meet Maria. And this is going to be a test of technology.
My name is Maria. I live in Mission. I work as a cashier at a grocery near my home. It was convenient for me to walk to work until I started having this pain in my leg. It's getting harder for me to go to work. My niece kept telling me to see a doctor, but I never go to the doctor. Do I have one? Where should I go?
So you can see a case like Maria. This is a very common case we see in San Francisco, and in many cases what they do, they end up calling 911 because they're not sure where to go. So the 911 answers, 911, what's your emergency? They send an ambulance, and in our current 911 system, every person receive an ambulance should be taken to the ER. They give her pain medication, she'd be sent home. But her problem would never be fixed. And so what we're trying to do is get Maria the right type of care, get her to a PCP, figure out what the root problem is, and actually help her with the solution rather than constantly trying to get her to and from the ER. So how do we redirect patients like Maria to the right care? This is the question we're trying to answer through our project. The way that most cities are addressing this is called a nurse triage system. And so they take calls in the 911, they identify them as low acuity, so what we've been talking about is pain, nothing that's life-threatening. They're transferred to the nurse. The nurse then further triages what the situation is. They identify how much care the person needs and what type of care. If they do need an ambulance, they can send an ambulance, just like you would see in a dispatch system. If not, they can connect to medical providers. They can give them self-care instructions or other San Francisco resources. 311 potentially is one that exists. In all these cases, they can also provide transportation, and that's a key in this system. Transportation is one of the biggest reasons why people are using 911 when they don't need it. So as we said, biggest barrier for people, it's also one of the largest costs of DEM. If you look at the cost of providing a lift versus providing an ambulance, significantly less of a cost. The other key insight that we took from this is that EMS 6 is doing this really well in San Francisco at a very low scale. So EMS 6 is a partnership between San Francisco Fire and UPH, and they deal with call takers who are frequent. So people who are calling 911 multiple times a day or multiple times a month. They're working with them to get them to the right level of care, so they're no longer relying on 911. And so we think EMS 6 is doing what we're trying to do at a very low scale level, and we need to understand what they're doing better so that we can make it at a high scale and implement the nurse triage system. Finally, our 4 keys to success that we found through our research, specifically at Fort Worth, Texas, and Washington, D.C., is there needs to be a strong have a referral network for the nurse to point people to. If they don't have somewhere to send the patient, then the system's not going to work. There needs to be alternative transportation options. Call takers have to be bought into this. They're the ones who ultimately transfer them to the nurse. So if they don't believe in this system, then it's not going to have a referral time to the nurse. And finally, nurse selection and training. This is key because ultimately they're making the final decision of whether or not someone is going to the ER or getting alternative care, and so this is important. So if we can redirect patients like Maria to the right type of care, we believe that this will start solving the problem rather than continuing to be a burden on the system. And in addition, it would help patients like Maria who don't have transportation, they don't know where to go, in some cases don't have insurance. We can redirect them to the resources we have in San Francisco to help people with those needs. Finally, ER visits as a main point of entry would decrease, and we would see more effective patient care and resource use. The ER system is the most expensive place to access healthcare, and so we're continually using the ER system. That should make costs on the whole system, including the individual who's taking on that burden. So what we've done is we built out a network of practitioners and excited guys to be in the process. We've been in contact with multiple cities who have this in place and who are excited to help San Francisco also implement something similar. We've engaged multiple stakeholders through our interviews and research. And going forward, we still have a lot of steps, but we feel very excited about this program. We need to enhance the quality check process with DEM. We need to increase their technology and ability to track data so that they're saying the right calls to nurse triage. And then for the side of stakeholder engagement, we need to develop full buy-in from the partners and also see how the partners saving money can support the partners spending money. So in this case, hospitals will be saving a lot of money by reducing the number of ER patients, but DEM will be spending the money to employ the nurse. And so we need to understand how to balance that system, knowing that we're saving money for the whole system as a whole. Ultimately, to understand that this is the beginning, but we've done a lot to understand how this can work in San Francisco. Ultimately, it's going to have to fit San Francisco system, and so we're excited to see DEM take this and engage multiple stakeholders, many of you in the room, to understand how to implement this well